Good time gaming.
What's up guys, Saxton the Good Time Gaming here with another build video. So this is a kind of special build. I put this build together as a way to kind of bridge the gap for new players and to kind of help them get a build that they can do without DLC and without Infamy. Because pretty much every build I've done so far has required Infamy and DLC, at least in some aspects. And I see that people get a little frustrated in the comments sometimes when they realize that there's Infamy ranks required and they don't have it, obviously. So the goal of this build is to give you guys a good, competent build that you can use, that you can have success with, that does not require a single piece of DLC or a single Infamy rank. However, I will say this, that I do utilize the Butcher mod pack, which is actually a free DLC pack that we release with a hype train event. So that is in this video. But other than that, there's no paid shit in here. So without further ado, guys, let's get started. Alright guys, so here we are in the skill tree. We're going to start out in Mastermind. You can kind of see what I have taken in this section here. So I went through Medic and went ahead and took Doctor Bags. The reason I'm going to take Doctor Bags is because we can already heal ourselves with the Muscle perk deck, which we'll kind of get to later on. Having Doctor Bags will mean that you should, under no circumstances, get taken into custody. Something that's kind of worth mentioning here, and I'm thinking about doing a new player guide here in the future. I'll mention it there, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it here, is that if you get downed, okay, so you get shot down, first time down, do not go over to a Doctor Bag and use it. Okay? Don't do it. You get downed, don't touch the Doctor Bag. Don't go near it, okay? You can get down 3 times, then you use the Doctor Bag. When you get downed and your screen is gray, that is when you use the Doctor Bag. So you go down once, you go down twice, you go down the 3rd time. When you're up on your feet after that 3rd down, that's when you use the Doctor Bag. The Doctor Bag restores all those downs, okay? Gives you back your downs. Medkits do not do that. So cupcakes are sometimes called. Little first aid kits don't restore those. The Doctor Bags do. So do not spam the Doctor Bag every time you lose half your health or get down one time. That is a very quick way to get kicked. Okay, don't do it. We also have here Inspire. So with this, you'll be able to get up one of your crew members every 20 seconds if they're on the ground. You do that instantly. You can also hold F to shout at them, which it's whatever your use key is. Mine is F, so that's what I use. Shout at people and they move 20% faster for 10 seconds. So it can be really helpful if you're trying to move a lot of bags. We've also taken Stockholm Syndrome here in Controller. So with Ace Stockholm Syndrome, if you go into custody, okay, during an assault wave, you will instantly come out of custody assuming you have a hostage. So you should always try and have at least one hostage somewhere, which is also a good practice just for Payday in general. Because whenever you're playing in groups, you always want to try and have a hostage scrolled away if you can. That way, in case somebody does get put into custody, you can get them back whenever the assault wave ends. So it's just good practice anyways. With this, if you fuck up that much to where you go down that many times, you at least don't have to sit there until the end of the wave. And trust me, if you're playing with people that aren't very good, and if you yourself are not very good, you coming back from custody can be the difference between failing a heist and being successful at a heist. So definitely worth picking up and definitely good for newer players. I don't personally take this on any of my builds at all. I'm pretty confident in myself. I sometimes joke somewhat smugly and arrogantly that as long as I am alive, the heist will not fail. And about 90% of the time that's true. So I don't take this, but for newer players it's great. Some people would like to have that extra bit of safety net. It's also good for them too. I won't fault you for taking it, and you should definitely take it as a new player. Over in Enforcer, we have opted to go for heavy armor. Armor is most forgiving in this game, so that's what we're going to go with. Having the armor will mean that you can stay out and kind of get shot a little bit more than what you would normally if you did not have the armor. And since we have muscle, if you take health damage, you have health regen anyway, so that's kind of taken care of here. So we've gone up to here, we've taken Iron Man to get the Improvised Combined Tactical Vest unlocked, which is the heavy armor. You can also get 25 armor back every 2 seconds if you get a headshot, so that's really good. And then also I went ahead and aced Transporter, that way you can throw bags farther. That says further, but we know it should say farther. And for each 10 points of armor you have, the bag movement penalty is reduced by 1%, so just allowing you to move a little bit quicker. Again, that Ace version is not something I take on my higher builds, my better builds. This is more of a good one for you as a new player, so you can move a little bit faster with bags. This is kind of bag moving simulator sometimes, guys. We now go over into Technician. I have taken 2 drill skills here, Hardware Expert and then Drill Sergeant. Basically just reduces the drill timer and then also gives it a chance to restart and then you can fix it faster. It's totally optional. You don't need it for every single heist, so if you're lower level, I'd probably get this later on and not right at the start. It's also something that, if you know you're going to be doing a heist that does not have drills on it, you can easily pull these points out and have 10 points to put somewhere else. So just kind of bear that in mind. I've opted to use assault rifles with this build because I find them to be pretty good all around. They're good for most situations. I feel like I should kind of explain lock and load a little bit. So if you kill 2 enemies with your weapon, then this reduces your next reload time by up to 60%. The bonus goes down by 1% for each bullet above 20 in the total magazine size, down to a minimum of 20%. Fairly easy way to get a much quicker reload. We now go over into Ghost. Duck and cover and parkour together give us more movement speed and faster stamina regeneration speed, which is very good. And we also go ahead and take Silent Killer. This build is also, besides being a noob-friendly build or like a newer player-friendly build, it's also assumed you don't have any Infamy or DLC. So if you don't have DLC, then you're not going to be able to get some of the really nice mods and some really nice weapons. So with Silent Killer, you're going to have more accuracy, more stability, and you're going to get 15% more damage twice on your suppressed weapons, which is really, really good. And it's going to help to kind of give you a little bit more cushion to work with, a little bit more power to use against the police in this game. So very good skill, very worth taking. And that about does it for our skills, guys. So we now go over into Muscle. Let me kind of break it down for you guys in Muscle, okay? With Muscle, you basically get a shitload of health, okay? You get 10% with Brute Strength. With Meat Shield, you get 10% more. With Giant Strength, you get 20% more. With Disturbing the Peace, this is kind of a cool one. Whenever you shoot your weapon at enemies, there's a chance that they will get panicked. So they'll start like freaking out and they won't be shooting at you, which is great. Higher threat weapons increase the chance to spread havoc. Unfortunately, with silencers, it tends to not happen very often, but we're more interested in having the health than we really are for this part. And last but not least, 800-pound gorilla, you gain 40% health, and you also regenerate 3% of your life every 5 seconds. And trust me, that regen works pretty damn quickly, so it's pretty nice. The only kind of downside to this perk deck is that with Meat Shield, you're 15% more likely to be targeted when you're close to your crew members, so that's kind of a bad thing, but it's not such a bad thing that it kind of like washes out the rest of the deck. Now, as far as weapons go, in previous build videos, I don't tend to spend a whole lot of time with the weapons, but I've had some people ask me before, and continuing to ask me, to like kind of put up some different weapon examples and like different things you can use. So I prepared 3 here. These are 3 different assault rifles. These weapons are made with no DLC, so there's no DLC put into these weapons to get these stats. I do have a maxed out perk deck, so I'll have the benefit of the 5% damage from that. But everything else is just exactly without DLC. I do have stat boosts, because stat boosts you can get those without skins or paying, so I do have the stat boost on there. We start here with the Carrefour. You guys can see that with damage, we have 54 damage, 84 accuracy, 100 stability. Threat pretty much gets tanked on all these, so you're probably not going to have any real benefit from the Disturbing the Peace part of Muscle, but you will have the health regen of the armor. We go over to the UAR, 55.3 damage, 100 accuracy, and 84 stability. You'll see those stats are like basically reversed from one another, which is kind of funny. And then over here we have the AMR 16, 110.7 damage, 96 accuracy, 72 stability. So pretty good there. So there's just a few examples of some of the weapons you can put together. Now obviously if you don't have DLC, you're very, very limited on what you can actually use. I didn't actually realize, or I guess I kind of always knew, but it kind of put it into perspective for me going through here, how much is missing if you don't have DLC, which this game has been out for several years now, so I kind of get it, but also it sucks for people who are newer to the game or don't have DLC, maybe can't afford those things. I totally get that. And really, as far as secondaries go, you're best off picking up the Krinkov submachine gun, 103.9 damage, 96 accuracy, 76 stability. A lot of mods are missing from that, obviously, because of the lack of DLC, but still very respectable damage on that. There's some other weapons you can pick up through here that are good. The Heather submachine gun's a pretty good one. Some people like the Chicago typewriter. I've never actually used it that much to give a really good opinion about it, but it's not really that appealing to me. The Cobus 90 submachine gun, the P90, it's okay. Damage starts out a little bit low on it at 39.9, but it's serviceable. So there's a bunch of different options here that you can do, but like I said, the Krinkov is probably your best bet. High damage, high accuracy, high stability. I would definitely go with that. There will be links in the video description so that you guys can check out this video. If you actually tab over into the primary and secondary section of the Payday 2 skills build link, I'll actually have the AMR 16 with the modifications on it that I'm using, and then also I'll have on there the secondary as well, so you guys can check that out. There's not really a whole lot to say about this build. I have some gameplay here of me playing this build on Death Wish, and you can pretty well see from this gameplay that I hold up pretty well. I mean, obviously I'm a pretty skilled player. I mean, I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but you know, a skilled player can make pretty much any build work, at least fairly decently, and so that's no different with this build here as well. This build basically just gives you a lot of tools that will help you to succeed. You know, you have heavier armor, you have some decent movement speed, you have health regen, you have the survivability, you know, you have the doctor bags. I mean, you just got a little bit of everything, stuff that'll make you survive. I mean, obviously it's not going to make you a really good player. I mean, that's something that takes kind of time, takes effort, you know, takes kind of learning to understand how enemies work, how game mechanics work, things of that nature. You know, so what kind of happened here is that we're playing undercover on Death Wish, and I went upstairs to turn the power back on, and basically the entire team got overwhelmed and wiped. So bad things happen. I didn't actually realize that until I got back downstairs, and I'm like, oh fuck, you know, I'm the last person alive. So I kind of holed up in this little corridor here, so I'll just let this play out. Kind of funny story though. So after this, like, we actually managed to recover from this, and I had asked them if they would get a hostage and allow me to go in custody so I could demonstrate how Stockholm Syndrome works. And so they did that. I mean, nobody said no or anything, so anyway, they did that, right? And I go up to the roof and I intentionally get myself killed, and my Stockholm Syndrome doesn't trigger. So I don't know if it was something because the fact that, you know, I got the entire team back after this little fiasco here, or what the deal was. So pretty much right after that, we wiped, or rather, they wiped, and that was basically it. So, felt kind of back to me. I probably would have been able to save them if I'd been down there and not intentionally put myself in custody. But I mean, you know, what are you gonna do, right? And plus, I had no way of knowing the Stockholm Syndrome would decide to not work. I mean, I kind of like felt bad about it afterwards. So if any of these guys watch this video, then please accept my apology. I'm sorry, guys. I'll be happy to do heists with you anytime you want to make up. You know, shit happens sometimes. I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things, if it hadn't been for me, this heist would have been over at this point anyways, because I mean, I don't think a lot of other people would have been able to clutch that out like that. So, yeah. I hope you guys find some success with this build. Like I said, this build was made with no infamy points in mind, with no DLC in mind, so totally set up to where, you know, if you're a new player, you can do this build. Set up where if you have no infamy, you can do this build. If you have no DLC, you can do this build. It's set up with you guys in mind, not with you know, upper tier players or, you know, middle of the road kind of players who are kind of experienced but not like super good. You know, it's for everyone out there. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys find some success with it. Let me know how it works out for you guys, and let me know if you have any ideas for other builds. I'm trying to stay away from like what I call like gimmick builds, like we're not like, you know, oh, make a Deadpool build, or like, you know, oh, this is like, you know, Rambo build or something like that. I mean, stupid shit like that. I just don't really. That's not really my style. But I'm open to doing other stuff. The sniper build is one I would have never thought of, but one of my subscribers actually suggested that, so that's how that kind of got made. So pretty cool there. But I'll see you guys in the game. I'll see you guys out there. Have fun heisting. This is Zach's a good time gaming. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share if you like anything you saw today. Remember to always have a good time gaming.